Buy high, sell low. That is my constant problem. And I don't know why I continue to fall for it. Even after yesterday too, when I was like, yes, like I'm looking to sell at value area highs and looking to buy at value area lows. I literally just completely forgot about it today. Did not think about that whatsoever. And I fell back into my old habit of buying high and selling low. So we minimized our losses today, only $122 loss, but honestly, it's just one of those situations where I just got chopped up and there was really no reason to. If I was a little bit more patient today, if I'd waited for um, confirmation in certain areas, then I would have been fine. But instead, I kind of rushed just a little bit, um, listened to false signals, and it kind of got me. So let's kind of go over what happened today. Put the chart executions on to show you guys. So, what happened first? Let's start with our bias for the day, which was bearish, right? Why are we bearish? Let me delete this so you can see. Opened up this candle here. Don't know if you can see this candle here. And we've just been trickling down ever since, right? So that was my thesis. We started trading at 7:30 here. So what I'm looking for is for us to start hitting these value area highs. So I'll come back on replay. And I was looking for us to hit this level, right? And we never exactly got there. Instead, we started rejecting here a little bit earlier. So, I mean, we're only a few points off. And then we start heading lower, right? But in that same vein, what happened tricked me. I didn't really know if we were bullish or bearish. I was like, I should follow my thesis. I should be in at a certain point. But then once I saw this candle at 8:05, that's when it really got to me. I was like, oh, maybe we're bullish, right? The reason why I believe that we could have been bullish, one, this candle had a little bit to do with it, this 8 o'clock volatility candle. Two, we bounced off value area lows two times. We have not rejected value area highs at all, right? We came close here. We came close. And can this count as one? Yes, right? But at the same time, this base that we're forming is a really good signal that, hey, we could actually be heading higher, right? So I saw that. I've learned from past mistakes of where I've ignored this and I've lost. And I said, okay, let's actually look to see what happens. Boom, we get this candle. Now, this candle did not close as strong as I would like, but it was very possible that from this point forward, we could start heading higher. I mean, look, bounced off value area lows, right? Love to see that. Finishing above point of control for the current session, that's fine. Still below VWAP, but I mean, that's a high volume bullish candle. Of course, it's like kind of like a doji a little bit, but the bulls won on that candle. You know, you can't argue that. But then, however, start falling down, start falling down. You'll see here, if you watch my videos, I love this candle, this reverse pin. It's on lower volume, but I do love that candle. We did decide to add here thinking, okay, um, we'll start bouncing at some point, but instead, the market just came for me and we got stopped out, which was fine. So then, what do I do after that? I reverse. I'm thinking, oh, we're bearish now. And in my earlier videos, you'll see that I used to love trading this end setup, and I still like it. But a lot of times, the flaw with that is that most breakouts end up failing. So if most breakouts end up failing, then this is a trap. So breaking below these value area lows, again, this line is more of like an area of support. So even though you're breaking down below this line, it's still an area of support that can hold if you're patient enough to allow it to happen, right? So here we broke. You can start seeing these bottom wicks, bottom wicks, bottom wicks, right? The selling has decreased, right? You still having good candles, but then it's easily bought up here, right? Slowing down here, but then you'll see the candle that got me, which was this one, I'm thinking, oh, we're heading lower. I completely ignored volume on this one. That's not my edge. That's not what I should be doing, is ignoring volume. Price is the most important indicator. A lot of times people forget that price is an actual indicator, right? It's never a lagging indicator, but another not lagging indicator is volume. And the fact that I ignored this is honestly one of the biggest mistakes I've made recently. To not see that this selling wasn't really a lot of selling. The candle is telling you that there's a lot of selling going on, but the volume is not corresponding to that. There's no conjunction between the price and the volume. So I should know better, right? I should know that this could be a false signal. Either either way I took it, and we quickly realized our mistake. And by the time I wanted to close the position early, I originally had my stop loss up here. I actually wanted to close it around here if we continue to head higher. But by the time we started getting up here, it was already too late. Look at that. What a candle. And this is where I should be buying. This is where I should be selling. So obviously at this point in time at 7:46, this candle was not rejecting value area highs, but one thing I always have to remember is that these are not static lines, right? I mean, even in the course of this replay session, you can see that if I come back to that candle, we're not even at value area highs, right? It's a dynamic line. It's dynamic based off of the volume that we're getting during the current session. So I have to be a little bit more flexible here, right? And that's what cost me today. So as soon as this happened, I was like, nope, I'm locking my account. I'm done, right? Because I know that I'm not reading price well today. I'm doing what I shouldn't be doing, which is buying high, right? Buying in these areas when I should be buying down here and selling low, right? Which doesn't make any sense to do either, right? So I was quickly reminded of that today. It's a good lesson to learn, and it's one that I need to really formalize in my mind that we should not be buying up here. We should be buying down here, especially on areas of support. We need to allow it to form. Another thing I was thinking of too is that you really need to fully reject and break through these value area lows and come back and properly retrace. This is not a quick retracement for my style of trading anyway. If I was quickly scalping, absolutely, you could do that and you would be able to get about 5 to 7 points off of that. And if, of course, if you're trading off of really huge contracts, then yeah, you can quickly scalp. But I like 15 to 20 point moves, sometimes larger than that. And of course, as you can see with my trading, I give those types of stop losses. So if I'm doing that, I really should be waiting either for a retracement, right, higher before looking to sell, or I should be waiting for a complete breakdown of this value area low and then coming back to retrace to the dynamic level before selling, right? And again, it's a learning process. Like I'm still learning, and it's a good lesson to learn today too. So in this scenario now, obviously, would I be selling here? I don't know, right? And this is where range trading comes into play. I'm sure that I'll come back to this random day in the future and do an episode of learn how to trade ranges with me. But this is where it's like you're bottoming, you break a little bit, but you're forming a base here and then you shoot up and now you're rejecting these areas again, right? So could you sell up here? Yes. Should you sell up here? I have no idea, right? Just because of the fact that we had just this huge bullish move, this bullish momentum. We are hitting resistance here. We're bouncing off of VWAP, so I would say no. But with ranges, it's like you have to pick your poison, especially if there's a lot of chop too. So, um, but honestly, though, not really pick your poison. It's more about picking your bias and sticking to it, which I did not do today. So, those are things that cost me the loss. One thing I wanted to note for myself as well in the future is, again, buying climaxes and selling climaxes. Now, at this point in time, I don't believe that this candle, in hindsight anyway, was a selling climax, right? So selling climax is when you have huge bullish volume, but usually buying climaxes and selling climaxes happen at the end of a move, right? So this here was just again a false signal, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, maybe it wasn't a false signal, it was an early signal now that I think about it as well, just because of the fact again, right? We wanted to bounce off of those areas, but we just didn't do it in the time frame that I was looking for. Um, but yeah, very choppy day for me today. As soon as that happened too, and this is something that I've been continuously proud about, is that once I realized that this is just not going my way, I'm just like, you know what, I'm done for today. I'm not reading price well. I'm not seeing things clearly. I need to get out, right? Um, and that's what we did today, right? We limited our losses, of course, too. It's not fun to lose. It's never fun to lose, but at the same time, limiting our losses and making sure that we're not taking the full $200 loss that I allow myself to take is very important in terms of staying in the game, right? Other days we'll be able to do what we're supposed to, right? And buy and sell in the correct areas, but also to be able to read price a little bit better. So it's okay if you struggle um, with reading price on a certain day. It's better to call it quits earlier on than to continuously trade and continuously try to get back at the market when it's not going your way. That's how you end up blowing accounts, and that's how you end up tilting, and that's how you end up being frustrated, right? So for me, I'd rather walk away. We have one more day in the trading week. Let's see if we can end it well. And then we learn from today as well. So again, good learning lessons for today. I really need to start learning how to focus on buying low and selling high. Um, Otherwise, this mistake will continue to happen, and I really don't want to complete this mistake again. So, um, yeah, that's it for this video today, guys. Again, the month has been difficult in terms of trading, but um, we've learned so much already. We're keeping our losses small. We're continuously bouncing up and down, right? It's like up, down, up, down. We're really getting to a good point though in terms of consistency, but we have to continuously learn from our mistakes and we have to be able to implement them. So, and I believe that I'll do so. It's just gonna take some time. So, that's it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are trading well. Um, and yeah, keep trading stoically. I'll see you guys in the next one.